Welcome to Angel Wings Productions.
Hey everybody, happy Saturday. This is my commercial just to put right in between everything. I just wanted to ask you to like and subscribe because it helps out my algorithm for YouTube, for you people to see me and everything. Hope you enjoy and have a wonderful day, and God bless, and may God bless all of his people no matter where they are at.
The Signal from Mars. Chapter 1. The Dying World. The time is 2086, and mankind has been advancing in various technologies. Several countries have now started colonizing Mars. Medical technology in the way of gene manipulation has become a thing of common life. Artificial intelligence has taken over the work for most of mankind. The Earth is in ruins, and the people of Earth are still waiting for the Lord Jesus Christ to return in the heavens. A time of great upheaval has passed, and now Earth is living a dystopian lifestyle. People have robots that cook for them, clean for them, transport them to whatever they want to go. The world is finally getting back on track after the Great War and upheavals that took place. But the Earth's atmosphere is drastically polluted, and people have to take new medical technologies to boost their lifespans. During this time, a company offered a computer chip with the capability to alter human DNA, allowing a human to be able to adapt to any disease or bacteria or ailment that can wreak havoc on the human body. It was also designed to release a neural toxin in the system to help human beings be able to deal with the Earth's new atmospheric weather better. The company, called Strongwell Incorporated, came up with the computer chip technology to make it all possible. But in addition to prolonging human beings and their lives, it also connects them to the central AI computing system, the Beast, which is controlled by one person, and it's been handed down through this person's family since the development and the start of this company. This company's reach is in every country, in every household, in some of the most advanced places on the planet. It's in think tanks, and everyone on the planet uses this particular AI to boost their everyday lives. Chapter 2. The Light in the Darkness. There has been a detection from a part of the solar system, Sagittarius B. First, it was a radio signal, and then a flash of light streaking across the sky. A comet that is the size of Manhattan. And within the comet's surface are individual small lights that glow like bioluminescence. The comet's trajectory takes an orbit that passes it straight through several of the planets to get a good look at Earth, Mars, and Venus. Right off the bat, Earth scientists are saying that something is different about this particular comet, as it strikes through our solar system at a speed that is very close to light. The lunar base on the moon is picking up the space disturbance as it's streaking through the solar system. China's moon base on the dark side of the moon first picks up the disturbance and sends messages to its satellites immediately, sending messages also to Earth and also its neighboring countries. The comet continues to move and make course corrections, as it basically navigates itself through the Kuiper belt and begins to make its way around the Sunday. As the comet moves within a small diameter away from the Sun, it releases rays into the Sunday, this comet's magnificent tail behind it glowing with a blue hue, while in front of it, dispersing a yellow type of array directly into the Sun, causing the Sun to solar flare, creating more space-time disturbance. This disturbance actually makes it to Earth, and begins to dismantle electrical devices and causes small failures for short periods of time. The comet is headed on the other side of the Sun when suddenly it disappears off of all radars, off of all satellites, and reappears a short distance later. When it reappears, it appears near Mars on a sweep to be what looks like a direct heading towards the red planet. All the red planet's radars and alarms sound as the comet looks like it's going to make its most incredible approach through the Martian atmosphere. All of the burn-off starts to wear off as it makes its way through the atmosphere. You see this sheer splendor of the bioluminescence, what looks like windows on a piece of rock. This was not actually a comet at all. It was some sort of mechanism, a ship, a vessel, or more. But if it's a drone, it's the biggest drone ever recorded, ever seen. This huge device, as it appears through the atmosphere, begins to slow itself down at a rate that almost looks just as impossible as the speed it was coming in, and it places itself on the Martian floor out in the desert. Chapter 3. Terraforming. Back on Earth, everyone on their TVs and their devices, along with everybody that's on Mars, have their eyes fixed on what this thing is, just sitting out there in the desert. The object glows, and from within it shoots a beam straight into the sky. The beam starts to permeate the planet, and from within the planet's rock itself, rushing waves of water start to gush out from beneath its icy surfaces. Within minutes and seconds, the natural air environment on Mars begins to change, and the people who were living underground have to come out, for their cities are getting destroyed by the massive water canals that are breaking from underground. The people already have safe evacuation methods and ways for being able to live on the surface structures that were built, and fresh cargo ships arriving, going back and forth from the red planet to Earth. Now the humans occupying Mars have a new situation to think about: coexistence with something or someone who is right now, at this very moment, terraforming the planet. The question is, what are they terraforming the planet for, and tailoring it for humans or something else? Dr. Calvin Eccles, Mars's top researcher, continues to use AI and computers to make a final analysis on the metamorphosis taking place on Mars. Meanwhile, the New World Order back on Earth decides that they are not going to place any kind of strike on this object in the way of weapons or any other type of attack. Several of the leaders and greatest minds decide that anything that can terraform a planet should not be fired on, for there is no telling what this technology can do. The command comes to just continue to observe, when somebody from High Central Command in China gives the okay to send a signal to it. Chapter 4. The response. The signal from China's Lunar Command was a simple mathematical sequence, prime numbers, then the Fibonacci sequence. Dr. Calvin Eccles watched from his observatory dome as the massive object on the Martian surface seemed to pulse in response. The bioluminescent windows along its hull flickered in perfect mathematical harmony, returning the sequence, then adding to it complex equations that made Calvin's enhanced mind real. "It's not just responding," Calvin whispered to his AI assistant, purposefully keeping his thoughts off the Strongwell network. "It's teaching us." But back on Earth, Director Marcus Strongwell III sat in his climate-controlled tower, watching the data streams from 10 billion connected minds. The family legacy of control was absolute until now. Something about Mars was creating interference in the network. People were thinking independently. "Sir," his lead technician stammered, "we're detecting prayer patterns. Mass prayer patterns. The chip's neural suppressors aren't blocking them." Marcus's jaw tightened. His great-grandfather had designed the system specifically to dampen religious impulses, to make humanity more rational. But somehow, the presence of this object was awakening something the chips couldn't touch: the human soul. Chapter 5. The awakening on Mars. The terraforming accelerated. Rivers now carved through red canyons, and Dr. Eccles noticed something extraordinary. The new atmosphere wasn't just breathable for humans. It was pure, cleaner than Earth's air had been in centuries. Plants were somehow growing from nothing, their roots finding nutrients in the transformed soil. Then came the voices, not through the communication systems, not through the AI networks, but carried on the Martian wind itself, harmonious, speaking in every language simultaneously. The few believers among the Mars colonists fell to their knees as they recognized the words from Isaiah, "Prepare ye the way of the Lord, make straight in the desert a highway for our God." Dr. Eccles, who had abandoned his childhood faith years ago for the promises of science, felt something stir in his chest, something the Strongwell chip couldn't suppress. He removed his atmospheric helmet, breathing the new air of Mars for the first time. It was like breathing life itself. On Earth, panic spread through the government centers. The Strongwell network was reporting massive malfunctions, But Marcus knew better. People were waking up. The underground Christian communities, who had survived by refusing the chip and living in the polluted wastelands, were emerging from their hiding places, singing hymns that somehow everyone could hear. Chapter 6. The Return. And in space, something else was happening. The comet ship began to rise from Mars, but as it ascended, it left behind not destruction, but gardens. Where its light had touched, life flourished in ways that defied every scientific law Dr. Eccles knew. The ship's trajectory was becoming clear now. It was heading for Earth. Marcus Strongwell III activated his deepest protocol, one passed down through 3 generations of his family. If humanity wouldn't accept their technological salvation, perhaps it was time to force their hand. The neural toxins in every chip could be weaponized with a single command. But as his finger hovered over the activation key, every screen in his tower flickered. A face appeared not generated by any earthly AI, but something else entirely. Ancient eyes filled with love and authority looked directly at him through the camera. "Fear not," the voice said, and Marcus felt his Strongwell chip crack inside his skull. "For behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy. In the skies above Earth, the first star began to shine through the polluted atmosphere for the first time in decades.